Hey guys, so 2 weeks ago I uploaded a video on me solving the 15 puzzle blindfolded, and I just wanted to share with you guys my method. Hopefully some of you guys will attempt it yourself, and hopefully some of you guys can get the 15 puzzle blindfolded as well. Okay, so before we start, there are two things that I need to let you know. One is the notation. So there are 4 ways that a tile can move: up, down, left, or right. And so if I move a tile down, I will notate that with a D. If I move it up, I will notate with a U. If I move a tile to the right, it will be with an R, and to the left will be with an L. If I move 2 tiles down, it will be D2. Up with 2 tiles will be U2. To the right with 2 tiles, R2. To the left with 2 tiles, L2, and likewise with 3. D3, U3, R3, L3. And the second thing to note is that my method only works with the bottom right tile being the empty one. So if you start out with a 15 puzzle like this, where this, for example, is the empty tile spot, the first 2 moves that you're going to do once you put your blindfold on is going to be this and this. And you have to keep in mind, instead of memorizing that 6 and 7 are here, you're going to memorize 6 and 7 as though they are in these 2 positions. And instead of memorizing that 8 and 12 are here and here, you're going to memorize them as though they were here and here. Okay, so that's the only way that that will work. Or you could just, when you scramble your 15 puzzle before you start memorizing, make sure that the bottom right tile is the one that's empty. Okay, so now if I have a scrambled 15 puzzle, how do I solve it blindfolded? Well, the first thing we do is we look in location number 15. We look right here. This is number 1. Now, where does tile 1 belong? It belongs right here. Now, our job is going to be to move location 1 to here, to location 11. Then we are going to swap these 2 pieces, and then we are going to move location 11 back to location 1. So here's how this works. The first thing you are going to do is you are going to take location 1 and move it into the bottom right corner, like such. Then you're going to loop these tiles around until location 1 comes to location 11. So pay attention to where location 1 goes. Okay, now I have moved location 1 to location 11. And then what we do is we're going to swap these 2 using a cycle. Watch this. It's going to go clockwise, and it is going to swap these 2 locations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we undo the loop that we did before. We move this tile back into location 1. And then once we are finished with that, you don't have to know why you have to do this, but you must perform that little 4-move cycle again at the end. So, once more. All right, and now we have solved location 1, and we have brought number 9 into this location, which means that next we are going to solve number 9. So number 9 belongs right here. So once again, we must move location 9 out of the way. We're going to move it into the right, and then we are going to loop this around, loop these tiles around until location 9 comes into location 11. So let us do that. And now we have location 9 and location 11. Then we are going to swap these 2 with a 4-move cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we are going to undo the loop that we did. And as I said, once you have finished undoing the loop, you have to do the 4-move cycle again. And then we proceed doing that with all of the other tiles on the board. Now I'm going to talk about some special cases. Now, something that's important to keep in mind is that you can never just swap 2 pieces on the 15 puzzle. So notice how in this method, you're never just going to swap this piece with its proper location. you're also going to swap pieces 11 and 12. So notice how these are in positions 1 and 11 right now. Once I solve number 3, move it out of the way, then I'm going to move number 3 down by looping around. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then undo the loop. And then I do the 4 cycle again. See, notice how 11 and 1 have now switched spots. So you have to know how to resolve this. So when you're solving, you have to remember if you've done an even or an odd number of swaps. And here's the rule. If you've performed an even number of swaps, and you have to solve location 12, if you've performed an even number of swaps, then that means that you are going to solve to location 11, like that. If you've performed an odd number of swaps, then you're going to solve to location 12, like this. You don't need to know why that works. Just know that when you're solving positions 11 and 12, if you've done an odd number of swaps, you solve it to its proper location. If you've performed an even number of swaps, you solve it to the opposite location. So, to solve location 11, I would put it in location 12. And I will do a walkthrough solve to show you how that works. Okay, now what happens if location 15 gets solved? This is where it belongs. Where do you solve it to? Well, when location 15 gets solved, you have to move it out of the way, and then you have to replace it with an unsolved piece. So let's say I replace with location 5. Move it here, do 1, 2, 3, 4, then move it back, and then do once again 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now number 15 is there. I am going to solve the rest of the pieces, and then at the very end, I'm going to solve location number 5, and at the end, that should be, then the whole puzzle should be completely solved. Okay, now with the information I've just given you, you should be able to solve these 3 rows of pieces. The only pieces that will be difficult to solve will be 4 and 8. So to swap 4 with 15 and to also swap 11 and 12, you're going to use an algorithm, and I will put them in the description. So I will just demonstrate to you. I won't say the moves out loud. This is how we solve piece 4 and also switch 11 and 12. And so with that, we've swapped 11 and 12. We've swapped 4 and 15. Okay, and then we solve it back. Okay, and then to solve location 8, swap 8 and 15, and then also 11 and 12. We're going to use this algorithm. Okay, that's swapped 8 and 15, and then also 11 and 12. All right, so I'll put those 2 algorithms in the description. I'm going to do a walkthrough solve, and after that, you should have everything you need to solve the 15 puzzle blindfolded. All right, so here's an example solve. So first, I look here. This is number 2, needs to go here, so I am going to move my tile out of the way, and I'm going to loop location 2 down to location 11. Now it's in location 11, perform the 4-move swap. Then move location 2 back. And then perform the 4-move swap again. Next I have number 13. Move it out of the way. Move location 13 here into location 11. Perform the 4-move swap. Then move location 13 back into position. Then perform the 4-move swap again. Next, I have location 12. At this point, I've performed 2 swaps, so an even number of swaps. When I performed an even number of swaps, I solve location 12 to location 11. Okay. Next, location 1. Move it out of the way. Bring location 1 to location 11. Perform the 4-move cycle, and loop back. And 4-move cycle again. Next, location 14 belongs here. So move this into location 11. Perform the 4-move cycle. Then move location 14 back into position. Perform the 4-move cycle. Next, location 3. Bring this down to location 11. Move it out of the way and loop down. Then swap. Next, move this back. Then perform the 4-move cycle again. Next, we've got location 9. Move location 9 into location 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then move location 9 back. Then do the 4-move cycle again. Now we've got number 8. Number 8 is an algorithm. Okay. Next, we've got location 5. Okay, so I'll move 5 out of the way. 5 is moved here, 4 moves. Then move this location back. 4 moves. Oh no, we have location 15, and it is not solved. So we have to replace tile 15 with an unsolved piece. So I'm going to replace it with tile number 10. Tile 10 over here, 4-move cycle, then move back. And perform the 4-move cycle again. After every swap, you're going to do that 4-move cycle again. Location 4, that's an algorithm. So do this. Next, location 7. Location 7 is right here. Move this out of the way. Then move location 7 back. Perform the 4-mover. Next is location 6. That's right here. Move this out of the way. Perform the 4-move cycle. Then move location 6 back. Perform the 4-move cycle. And lastly, we have to solve spot number 10. So move spot 10 into location 11. Perform the 4-move cycle. Then cycle back. And then we do the 4-move cycle one more time. And just move over tile number 15 into position. And that's it. We have it. That is how you solve the 15 puzzle blindfolded. All right, and just a quick note on memorization. So the way I memorize it, I don't have a good memory system in place. I just remember all the numbers. So I start here and I say, okay, number 3, I have to solve 3 first. Then I go to location 3 and I say, okay, this is number 5. So I remember 3, 5. Then I go here and I say, okay, 13. I have to solve that next. So 3, 5, 13. Then I go to location 13 and that's number 8. So far my memorization would be 3, 5, 13, 8, and then 11. And I just do that around the entire 15 puzzle. If you want to assign an image or a letter to each tile instead of a number, if that works better for you, that's probably a better memorization system. I just remember all the numbers. But let me know what you guys think. All right. All right, everyone, so that's my tutorial. Please let me know if you have any further questions. Leave them in the comments. This is my first time making a tutorial, so it's probably a little rusty. But let me know if any of you guys were able to follow it or if you want me to clear up any of the details. I'll be happy to do so.